This presentation will discuss the interactions and experiences of child and domestic violence victims within the criminal justice system. The goal is to provide newly hired crime victim advocates with a comprehensive understanding of these victims' experiences and the roles of various criminal justice professionals in supporting them. We will explore specific scenarios to illustrate key points and discuss best practices for advocates working with these vulnerable populations. Let's begin. In this presentation, we will cover several key areas. We'll discuss the necessary communications and interactions between child victims and criminal justice professionals, and the roles of allied professionals in supporting these victims. Experiences of child victims in the criminal justice system. We'll examine what child victims experience immediately after an incident and throughout the criminal justice process, including legal protections and support services. Interactions with domestic violence victims. We'll outline the appropriate interactions between domestic violence victims and criminal justice professionals and the roles of allied professionals in their rehabilitation process. Experiences of domestic violence victims in the criminal justice system. We'll explore the immediate and long-term experiences of domestic violence victims within the criminal justice system, including legal protections and support services. Comparison and contrast of the two victim types. Finally, we'll compare and contrast the experiences and interactions of child victims and domestic violence victims, highlighting both similarities and differences. This comprehensive guide aims to equip crime victim advocates with the knowledge and understanding needed to support both child and domestic violence victims effectively. In the first scenario, a guidance counselor identifies potential child abuse involving a 7-year-old girl named Sarah. Under New Hampshire law, specifically RSA 169C29, all citizens, including school personnel, are mandated reporters and must report any suspicion of child abuse to the Division for Children, Youth, and Families. This mandatory reporting triggers an immediate response to ensure the child's safety. Upon receiving the report, DCYF and law enforcement collaborate to conduct a joint investigation. The investigation includes interviews with the child, the non-offending parent, and any potential witnesses. The case is referred to a child advocacy center for a forensic interview, minimizing the trauma of multiple interviews for the child. This scenario demonstrates the importance of a coordinated response to child abuse allegations, ensuring that all actions taken prioritize the child's safety and well-being, while adhering to legal requirements. Effective interactions with child victims are critical in ensuring their safety and well-being. When a child first discloses abuse, a minimal facts interview is conducted to gather essential information without causing additional trauma. This interview aims to determine what happened, where, when, and who was involved. A more detailed forensic interview is conducted at a KAC by trained professionals. This child-friendly setting minimizes stress, ensuring the child's account is accurately and sensitively documented. These professionals ensure the immediate safety of the child and begin the process of documenting the initial disclosure. They follow protocols to protect the integrity of the child's statements and the investigation. Advocates and counselors provide essential support to the child and family, offering emotional support, resources, and guidance through the criminal justice process. Medical personnel conduct necessary physical examinations and provide medical care. They also document any physical evidence of abuse, which is crucial for the investigation and subsequent legal proceedings. Each professional has a distinct yet interconnected role in ensuring a coordinated and effective response to child abuse, prioritizing the child's safety and emotional well-being. Understanding the experiences of child victims within the criminal justice system is crucial for providing effective support. Once abuse is reported, a coordinated investigation by DCYF and law enforcement begins. The child may be interviewed at a CAC to minimize trauma and ensure a safe environment for disclosure. Immediate support includes medical examinations, crisis counseling, and safety planning. Victim advocates provide emotional support and connect the child and family with necessary resources. Legal measures, such as protective orders, ensure the child's safety by preventing the perpetrator from having contact with the child. Special accommodations like testifying via closed-circuit television reduce trauma during court proceedings. If the perpetrator is convicted, the child and their guardian are informed of the offender's parole status. Ongoing support includes counseling, advocacy, assistance navigating the criminal justice system, and helping the child and family recover. Comprehensive support addresses immediate and long-term needs to ensure the child's safety and emotional well-being. In New Hampshire, ensuring that child victims or their guardians are notified of the offender's parole status is a crucial aspect of their ongoing safety and emotional well-being. Here are the key points. When an offender is eligible for parole, the New Hampshire Department of Corrections must notify the victim or their guardian. This notification includes information about the parole hearing and any conditions of parole that may affect the victim. The law mandates timely and effective communication to ensure that victims are aware of any offender status changes. This is part of the broader effort to provide continuous protection and support to victims. Victim advocates play a crucial role in this process. They provide emotional support, explain the parole process, and ensure victims understand their rights. Advocates also help victims prepare statements they wish to make during parole hearings. Effective notification and support are essential to maintaining the safety and well-being of child victims as they navigate the criminal justice system. In the second scenario, we examine the case of Mary and Mark Malone. Mary has been a victim of domestic violence perpetrated by her husband, Mark. Here are the key points. Domestic violence is often identified by medical professionals, law enforcement, or through a victim's report. It is crucial to recognize signs such as physical injuries, emotional distress, and controlling behavior. RSA 173B provides protections for victims of domestic violence, including the issuance of protective orders and the requirement for mandatory arrest in certain situations. When law enforcement is called to a domestic violence incident, they are required to take immediate action to ensure the victim's safety. This includes arresting the perpetrator if there is probable cause to believe an assault has occurred and implementing protective measures such as no-contact orders. This scenario highlights the importance of swift and coordinated responses to domestic violence to protect the victim and prevent further harm. Effective interactions with domestic violence victims are essential for ensuring their safety and support. Officers are often the first point of contact. Their primary role is to ensure the victim's immediate safety, assess the situation, and determine if an arrest should be made. If there is probable cause, officers will arrest the perpetrator. The investigation includes collecting evidence, documenting injuries, and interviewing witnesses. Officers assist victims in obtaining protective orders, which legally prevent the perpetrator from contacting or approaching the victim. First responders and police ensure the victim's immediate safety and begin the legal process to protect them. Victim advocates and crisis counselors provide emotional support, resources, and guidance through the legal process. They help victims understand their rights and available services. Hospital professionals conduct necessary medical examinations, treat injuries, and document physical evidence of abuse. They also provide referrals to support services. These coordinated efforts are vital in ensuring comprehensive support and protection for domestic violence victims. Understanding the experiences of domestic violence victims within the criminal justice system is crucial for providing effective support. Upon reporting, a thorough investigation is conducted by law enforcement. This includes collecting evidence, documenting injuries, and interviewing the victim and witnesses. Immediate support includes crisis counseling, medical attention, and safety planning. Victim advocates provide crucial emotional support and help victims navigate the initial stages of the legal process. Legal measures such as protective orders are implemented to ensure the victim's safety. These orders can restrict the perpetrator from contacting or approaching the victim. The victim may need to participate in court proceedings. Advocates provide support throughout this process, helping the victim prepare and understand the legal steps involved. If the perpetrator is convicted, the victim is kept informed about the parole status and conditions of the offender's release to ensure their safety. Ongoing support includes counseling, advocacy, and assistance in navigating the criminal justice system. Continuous support helps victims recover and move forward. Providing comprehensive support to domestic violence victims involves addressing both their immediate and long-term needs to ensure their safety and well-being. In New Hampshire, ensuring that domestic violence victims are notified of the offender's parole status is a crucial aspect of their ongoing safety and emotional well-being. Here are the key points. When an offender is eligible for parole, the New Hampshire Department of Corrections must notify the victim. This notification includes information about the parole hearing and any conditions of parole that may affect the victim. The law mandates timely and effective communication to ensure that victims are aware of any offender status changes. This is part of the broader effort to provide continuous protection and support to victims. Victim advocates play a crucial role in this process. They provide emotional support, explain the parole process, and ensure victims understand their rights. Advocates also help victims prepare any statements they wish to make during parole hearings. Effective notification and support are essential to maintaining the safety and well-being of domestic violence victims as they navigate the criminal justice system. In comparing and contrasting the experiences of child and domestic violence victims, several similarities and differences emerge. Both victim types require immediate safety measures and a coordinated response from law enforcement and allied professionals. Initial responses involve ensuring safety, collecting evidence, and providing immediate support. Both types of victims benefit from legal protections, such as protective orders. However, the nature of these protections and the court processes can differ, with child victims often requiring more specialized accommodations to reduce trauma during court proceedings. Both victim types interact with various professionals, including victim advocates, medical personnel, and crisis counselors. The focus is on providing emotional support medical care and connecting victims with resources. The involvement of law enforcement and legal professionals is crucial for both victim types. Child victims may have additional support through child advocacy centers, while domestic violence victims often engage with law enforcement more directly during initial incidents. By understanding these similarities and differences, crime victim advocates can tailor their approaches to meet the unique needs of each victim type, ensuring comprehensive and effective support. Here are some best practices for crime victim advocates working with child and domestic violence victims. Establish a trusting relationship with the child. Use age-appropriate language and create a safe, non-threatening environment. Work closely with law enforcement, DCYF, and child advocacy centers to ensure a coordinated response that minimizes additional trauma. Offer ongoing emotional support and resources to the child and their family throughout the investigation and legal process. Prioritize the victim's immediate safety by helping them access protective measures and emergency shelter if needed. Empower victims by providing information about their rights, available resources, and the legal process. Encourage their active participation in safety planning. Work with law enforcement, medical professionals, and crisis counselors to provide comprehensive support and ensure the victim's needs are met. By following these best practices, advocates can provide effective and compassionate support to both child and domestic violence victims, ensuring their safety and helping them navigate the complexities of the criminal justice system. In conclusion, we have covered several important aspects of supporting child and domestic violence victims within the criminal justice system. Understanding how to effectively communicate and interact with both child and domestic violence victims is crucial. This involves using age-appropriate language for children, providing immediate safety for all victims, and ensuring that their emotional and physical needs are met. We explored victims' immediate and long-term experiences in the criminal justice system, emphasizing the need for legal protection, emotional support, and continuous assistance throughout the legal process. The importance of coordinated efforts by law enforcement, medical professionals, victim advocates, and other allied professionals cannot be overstated. Such collaboration ensures a comprehensive response that prioritizes the safety and well-being of victims. By adhering to these principles and best practices, advocates and professionals can provide effective and compassionate support to victims, helping them navigate the complexities of the criminal justice system and move forward with their lives.